What's up with it? It's your big homie, GLA $$ East Side. That's right, Glasses Malone. And I just jumped off the porch, feel me? With the good peoples, dirty glove bastard. Tap in, dog.
Like a billion, never gross talking net. Ride that I pilot, worth the property beside it. When Vlad called my phone, overly excited.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We got my man Glasses Malone jumping off the porch with us today. What's up, fam?
Man, what's up with it, baby?
Man, everything smooth. How you feeling, bro?
Cool, man. Atlanta is always good to me, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Wakanda. Man.
Yeah, nah, straight
Greatest
up, bro.
black place in the world.
It's so crazy because, like, coming from different places, bro, when you come here, it seemed almost unrealistic, like, how you see just so many black folks doing well.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, it's like that dream come true, for real.
You know what? I seen black folks doing well, but it's so many different type of black folks doing well.
Yeah.
And I appreciate even what the city of Atlanta do for like black people they're trying to do better.
Yeah.
Like you can go places, you can see people that grew up how we grew up and they'll have these jobs and opportunities. And
Yeah.
that's something very unique to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think so at least.
Yeah, nah, for sure, for sure. And you've been out here making moves, hitting up all the spots, doing your media run, but then too, I know you went to like the drag racing and all that, and you had an event a few days ago on that tip.
Yeah, Middle Georgia, I think it's a Parkway or Raceway.
Yeah.
One of my partners from Compton, my homeboy Monster from Track New, he was doing a race out here, so that was like my first time hosting a race, so it got me fired up to kind of really do some dope stuff back home.
Wow.
Like every time I come to Atlanta, I always leave with like inspiration.
Yeah.
Atlanta and New York more than anywhere, but Atlanta, my shit get really black and hella inspired.
Yeah, nah, that's what's up, bro. And then that whole like racing world, like, do you have a favorite car, or do you have a favorite car, you know, that maybe you have or have owned or aspire to have?
Not really, man. I done pretty much had whatever I wanted at this point in life. I ain't really never wanted much. But I do appreciate like another thing, like seeing so many brothers in the racing. Like at home, like when you're at the street races, it's cool, you see a lot of brothers.
Yeah.
But out here, you go to the drag strip and there be a lot of brothers just at the drag strip. And they take racing so serious. So I really like that, you know what I mean? As far as what, for me, like, man, I race cars. They don't really matter. That's all I've done my whole life, you know what I mean, till I started making music.
Yeah.
So I'm not loyal to any car, you know what I mean? Like, my next build is gonna be a daily driver, a 56 Bel Air convertible.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? I stopped dreaming about cars a long time ago. Yeah.
Right. What do you dream about these days, bro?
Nothing. I mean, I dream about shit that can't happen, like people, you know, peace.
Yeah.
I dream about seeing my mom, you know what I mean, again. You know, she passed away, so I dream about things that are you know, that probably aren't simple to happen. I can't never dream about nothing mass produced like cars no more. It's funny because I remember Head brought it up, and I remember telling Kendrick he was questioning would he be able to get a Corvette, and I'm like, man, they make thousands of these motherfuckers. You better get one of these motherfuckers. That ain't gonna be the problem. So, I don't really dream about shit like houses and cars. Like that shit, they make them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's another motherfucker it's a few motherfuckers that got them, so if that was something that really meant enough to you, there's already a game plan laid out for you to go get it.
Nah, for sure. It's funny when you know, get to, you know, if you blessed to be able to, you know, reach certain levels in life and you start becoming a minimalist.
Yeah.
You know, like in the beginning, our life kind of revolve around us working hard to get these material things that maybe as a kid, because we came from environments where we didn't have shit, you know, you see cars going by, you yelling bingo at this car, you know, all that. But then I feel like you unlocking another level when you get to that point where these material things don't mean anything and you look at it just as what it is, material.
Man, fundamentally, I always kind of thought like this. But I do agree, like it, you know, the further we into them places that we grew up that create the culture, you know, that is hip hop, like it seems like some of these things are definitely out of reach, but I guess that's the goal for us to teach each other that it's not and how mass produced it is. Like I always trip off, I had shows in Germany, a couple runs in Germany, and like over here, like Benz is some kind of status symbol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like whoever got a Benz, even the little bullshit baby mama Benzes, but like over there it's like a Nissan, you know, it's like a Sentra.
Yeah.
It's like a Civic, you know what I mean? It's like Benzes in Germany when I'm in Cologne or I'm in Berlin, like they're Accords, they're Camrys, they're
Yeah.
Civics. You know, everybody got them in every driveway. It's just like the standard car.
Yeah.
And we over here losing our mind and overpaying for them. And over there, they just, you know, it's a bucket.
Yeah, nah, for real. That perspective is everything, though, bro. And everybody not blessed to be able to, be able to get that.
And I thank God I never really saw it that way anyway.
Yeah.
Even before I saw that, I just thought of it like it was just a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess I try to work on myself a little bit more than just trying to prove it to other people.
Yeah, nah, that's real. That's real. And I mean, let's get right into it, bro. You just dropped a new EP.
Yeah.
Banned From VladTV.
Yeah, I call it a maxi single, but no streaming apps have officially changed the P line for me yet. You know what I mean? Where it should say Digi maxi single. But yeah, that was a dope idea, man. Along the same lines of Want It, the song I just put out with Jurassic 5, where it's a Digi maxi single. I'm starting to bank on my ability to keep a great retention rate in ideas. I'm allowing, you know, this new creative, you know, medium, you know, streaming apps, you know, Spotify, Apple, Tidal, that we have now. I'm allowing it to push my creativity into new spaces, you know, when it comes to making records. And that was just a dope idea I thought that would be interesting for people to get a bar of.
Word. And you never short of these creative ideas when it comes to projects. Last time you was on the porch, we were talking about the project that you had dropped, Cancel These Nuts, which had, you know, a whole concept, a whole vibe to that. I mean, even the, what is it, the Tupac?
Must Die.
Yeah, the Tupac Must Die song, the controversial, you know, song and visual that you drop. Like you always coming with these dope concepts. Now, I have to ask you, are you really banned from VladTV?
I mean, not officially, but yeah, for the most part. I mean, one of my partners asked and shit, and then when Tupac Must Die, ironically, when Tupac Must Die came out, one of my partners, that, you know, mutual friend between me and Vlad, asked him, like, man, you don't have Glasses on here? This song is dope. Like, you know, he just did the Breakfast Club. And he was like, I'm cool. And then another buddy of mine was trying to, you know, we was trying to figure out something that we wanted to do that he was aware of. And he thought, you know, the buddy of mine was asking about coming on. He's like, yeah, I'm cool about having glasses. And it's a little chatter here and there about, you know, a little negativity coming. And it's just how it go, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have been the villain in a lot of people's story.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
I mean, you've been on Vlad, you know, before countless
Initially,
times.
yeah.
For sure. I guess Vlad feel like he'll talk to Keefy D or like one of them cats more than he'd rather, you know, talk to you.
You know, yeah, I think I'm pretty sure he upset at me. I mean, before this, now I'm sure he like, fuck G, but at least now I feel like he got a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I don't even think this is much of a reason. Like, I always worry, man. It's so many people outside of hip hop, you know, that come in and they have like this direct involvement with people from the culture that grew up a certain way. And there's so many people that's, you know, in the business of, for lack of a better term, exploiting the culture, whether it's the arts or the people themselves that inspire it or the creativity of it all. And that dynamic is definitely coming to a head, and it's going to explode. It's coming to a boiling pot. Like, for the most part, I'm watching people declare war on the streets. You know, people happy that they want the streets to fail. Like, hip hop gave the streets a voice, and it was the belle of the ball for a long time. And now people like, I'm tired of, you know, you got so many regular people, like, I'm tired of feeling like, if I'm not doing what them brothers is doing, that I'm not special as a black man. You know what I mean? I heard Jaleel White, Steve Urkel say the same shit. Like, you know, why is it just their stories? Why is it just their stories and this culture being highlighted? You know, versus just the genuine, you know, all-American black story. Well, just because you dip the all-American story in chocolate don't make it compelling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's this niche life that you know, this niche language, this niche niche get down, this niche, the way we carry ourselves, niche is just unique. So now is, you know, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
Like hip hop went from being a hero to now being a villain.
Yeah.
And I just happen to be one of the world's greatest villains, especially culturally. So I'm definitely declaring it and proclaiming the energy.
I mean, it's interesting because, you know, hip hop started as, like you said, like the, you know, rap was the voice of street culture.
Yeah. Like Chuck D says it, rap music was the ghetto CNN, is the ghetto CNN.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And I think along the way, when, you know, when commercialism started taking over the culture, it went from it being people commentating on what they were seeing and what they were going through to then people glorifying some of those negative things that they may have seen and things like that, and talking about it even still from a present, you know, sense.
I don't even know. I think it was always, I don't think it's ever been glorified as much as it's been declared. I think everybody else glorified it. You know, people that wasn't in this life glorified it. To us, it's traumatic.
Right.
I mean, when I listen to Chief Keef or, you know, Reese or Dirk or any of those brothers or Thug and them, that shit's traumatic.
Yeah.
You know, you hear them talking, that's why they getting high and drunk and shit. You could tell this is traumatizing their experience, but they gotta find some way to deal with it. So they carry themselves in a way like, I survived it, so I'm gonna be proud that I existed through it. And then you have the rest of the world, like, you know, it's like a soldier coming back from war. Like, you know, that person that was at war, that soldier, they remember it and it's different, and they could carry themselves with a sense of pride, and everybody else gonna pat you on the shoulder or support what you're doing. So, but this is normal in America, man. Billy the Kid is a fucking criminal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Al Capone's a criminal. Gotti's a criminal. The Godfather is criminals. You know, America has always had a different respect for people who live this life their way, long as they're willing to be accountable. So it shouldn't be different now that it's black people at the face of it.
No, that's true, because Scarface is revered as so many people's favorite movie. Like you said, The Godfather.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, The Godfather is classic. I mean, I don't know how many times I've, you know, watched those movies.
And we'll never say they glorified their existence.
Yeah,
you know, it's
that's
just
real.
like when black people get their hands on something, you know what I mean, poor black people was like, oh, they glorified, but you ain't say that about Godfather. Nobody pickets and, you know, nobody pickets and protests The Godfather coming on TV all the fucking time, or Casino, or Goodfellas, like all these. They glorifying whatever you think glory is to it. They, you know, nobody's saying that.
That's real, because even if you think about The Wire and The Sopranos, The Wire is looked at as, oh, y'all glorifying, you know, what was happening in Baltimore and all of that. But The Sopranos is like this classic, this, you know, it's revered just in a whole different way. So
that's why I don't really buy into that whole, you know, we glorify it. I don't believe in that shit. I think I could see the trauma in all of them people that been through it. Like, I could see it, you know what I mean? I could see it. I know why they getting high. I know why they getting drunk. I know the trauma of it all because I done been through it. So I don't really hear any artist glorifying it. I hear them kind of trying to get it off of their chest, trying to, you know, project the energy so that they don't have to keep defending themselves. Because trust me, if you wanted to get into some shit, you don't got to declare nothing. You know, shit's available for you to go walk out there and get into.
Yeah. What's your thoughts about drill music? And you know, the fact that within drill, it seems like they giving us the commentary, but then they also, in some of it, talking and bragging about, you know, people they done walk down or whatever.
Man, we celebrate the 4th of July every year. That's America kicking the shit out of England. You know, we celebrate all that shit every year, man. It can't be different when it comes down to poor black people.
Yeah.
You know, when people are in fights and they finding reasons to fight and war, you know, I like to have the same respect for them, even if they have to be held accountable in a court of law. You know what I mean? That just comes with the territory. But we celebrate, you know, this country, for lack of a better term, celebrate kicking somebody's ass every year. You know what I mean? Every year. And they've been celebrating it for 200 plus, what is it, 17, 76, they kicked their ass or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we've been celebrating this shit for 200 plus years. America been, you know, they kicked that. We celebrated the other day. I remember when 9/11 happened, so this is 2001. I remember because Jay-Z album came out, Blueprint. It's like my favorite Jay album, and I remember when the Twin Towers and they ran the plane into the towers, and that was in 2001. And then fast forward in 2020 or 21, I think it was, like they finally, you know, hunted down and killed the leader of the Taliban.
Yeah.
The Taliban, you feel me? And I remember the president, I think it was Biden, coming on TV kind of like bragging, like popping it, like, yeah, you know, if you mess with us, and then you go look at all of these YouTube videos of Reagan, like, because if you mess with America, it's like, come on, man, like, some of this shit is human nature, and we trying to, oh, you know, black, it's like, come on, bro, that's just some old anti-hate shit.
Yeah, nah, that's real, that's real.
That's some old anti-black shit, I'm not fucking with that shit.
Yeah, nah, that makes sense, bro, nah, for real. With the Banned From VladTV project, how accurate are...
117%. Yeah, that's exactly how it went.
Yeah. So Vlad called you to get
Straight
a
up.
gun?
Yeah. So me and Vlad met when I first was getting cracking, and I was in the streets for a long time with a record deal. When I was signing Cash Money, I was still in the streets. I was still living a life, you know what I mean? So Vlad used to bring Vlad to watch in Compton. Like Vlad used to come around, like, you know what I mean? So a lot of the earliest Vlad TVs with me and Vlad were in Watts.
Yeah.
I'll bring him to the 7, and so he knew what type of shit we was on. He saw me get busy. He know what we on. So, you know, we were friends. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were friends, but that's a different type of situation. That ain't friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're gonna start being a part of a crime with somebody, because if I give you a gun and you don't understand the responsibilities, if you do something with this gun and it becomes yours, now we doing a crime together. Because if you tell the police, I gave you this pistol, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in on the crime now. So we were friends, but that's just a different type of existence. You know what I mean? You have to know what comes with this. And I just never felt Vlad understood it. Even though he kind of presented himself like he did, it was like, nah, fool, like, this is different. This ain't like arguing on the net or fighting this is serious, you know what I'm saying? This is like, they'll grab your ass up and, you know, they're gonna look at your lily white ass and ask you where you get this motherfucking pistol from.
Yeah.
If you tell them, you know what I mean, I just pretty much gave 20 years to the state for that shit or more. So I just wasn't really ready to kind of trust him in that light with that type of situation.
Word. Nah, when I heard that, I was like, man, how true, how accurate are these stories in here?
Man, when I do music like that, when I make records and when I speak, man, like, I'm pretty much gonna call it straight, even if I don't look like the hero. Or like in this particular story, some people think I'm the villain. They like, man, that's your boy. Why would you not give him a pistol? And I'm like, you got to be a different type of guy to get a pistol from me. Like, really, you know, shout out to my older homie Plug, but like, that was a lesson I got from him, and you know, he pretty much helped cultivate who I am in street life. You know what I mean? And he didn't even loan me a gun at first. Like, I can get a gun from him now, but when I first wanted a gun, he was like, shit, you better go buy or steal your own first gun like I stole mine, because he just wasn't sure, you know, how I was gonna deal with a situation if, you know, I had to be accountable, you know, in the court of law for it.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Cause when the heat's on you, like, a lot of people fold, you know, we even see with, you know, all these RICOs that's going on and all of this stuff that's being exposed.
You see what happened with Gunna and them? Like, Gunna and them take advantage of the situation and shit, and it's like, you know, like, a lot of people feel different ways about that, but my thing is, if you could benefit from it, bro, you gotta ride with it too. Yeah. Like, you benefited from this reputation that this company built, that these guys built. So even if you're not thugging, which I think that's a bit odd, because you know, you pushing the Crip line, you know what I mean? You pushing your line on the street level, and then now it's time to be held accountable, and it's like, nah, I didn't do no crime. I mean, I know about the crimes that they did. You know, this shit crazy. And even in pleas, like, I was looking at a plea that, you know, that he took, and it was like, yeah, like, your lawyers need to kind of change that around. Don't let these people make you say that somebody else did something, you witnessed it. That's telling. Right. I was looking at the same thing, and what's the boy case from Jersey? He's a homie too. He's a neighborhood nigga too. Surf.
Okay. Oh yeah, TSU
surf shit like
yeah.
crazy like that. Where in a plea, at least I haven't went and looked myself, but these pleas, they'll make you say some shit if you're not attentive. So if you spending money on counsel, shit, you better be really serious with what you wording, because some of this shit, if you read, it could have, you know, horrible ramifications on what happened in the future for you, you know, in our life and how we live. Because, you know, we really big on accountability in this street urban culture.
Yeah.
You know, we do not want you escaping any level of accountability, or at least placing accountability on somebody at that moment they not bringing that to them, to their face. You cannot be the reason, you know, you can't tell nobody you saw somebody else do something.
Right. I mean, because that's telling.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what happened to Gunna. You know what I mean? Gunna just got put in the trick bag, you know, and shout out to his attorney who was, you know, good. Obviously, he did some good stuff, but it's like, I always think they didn't think that shit was gonna be recorded. Because I always see the recording and I could tell somebody snuck to record it. So they thought they was gonna have something closed that nobody was gonna see. Yeah. And it's like, but you gotta think about that too.
Yeah. No,
you know
that's
what I mean?
real.
You gotta think about that.
I mean, that's just like when, you know, all these calls, you know, came out with Thug, but then the one thing in particular was when he was in that interrogation room.
Facts.
And he telling them, hey, I'll tell y'all what y'all want.
That shit sound crazy.
Just don't let the world hear.
And this is the crazy part, right? Like with Thug, cause it's like, cause I'm the whole time, like me and Thug, like we never met each other, but Stunner is like, we both fuck with Stunner. Yep. So there was times when things just happened where I felt like he was disrespecting the culture. And I'm like, hey, homie, like, we not with that. But coming through his case, him staying solid, like it had pushed him into a different respect for me. I was like, damn, cause that nigga truthed it out, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and even hearing all of the calls, cause the calls, I think that shit is marketing. I think one call or two calls is real. The rest of it, cause they made that shit up to put him in the press. That nigga's so smart, his marketing is like hella top tier. But the interrogation, I think that's real. And the problem is, like, yeah, you're not actually saying nobody did a crime, but you talking and you sound so friendly and you actually acting like you would tell these people to, this why they tell you don't talk to the people, because you never know what's gonna happen with the material. So you might have been, you know, I could tell he was trying to outsmart them and he was wittier, but publicly, it just look and sound crazy. Like, this is my number if you need some information. What? And why would you tell these people that? Cause like, I mean, you can't, too many movies about trying to outsmart the police. These people they get paid high five and six figures to try to study what we do every day. You is not outsmarting these motherfuckers. Yeah. You know, if you think you are, you wrong. You know what I mean? You on borrowed time.
Nah, that's real. I remember, like, I was working with Lucci before he got locked up, and I remember going to a couple of the court hearings, and they had a social media person there, like somebody that just dissects like everything from the social media to they listening to the music and all that. And I was tripping when they were in court and they were mentioning stuff, and I was like, damn, like they really know like some of the, you know what I'm saying? Like they was.
So when people ask me about when rappers doing stuff and they talk about it, well, as long as you okay with, cause they probably gonna bring this shit up.
Yeah.
These motherfucking people probably gonna bring this shit up. So, you know, like Thug put himself in a really bad situation just by talking to them. Yeah. Whether or not you told or not. Like I'm on the side of like, I didn't hear you implicate nobody in a crime. I heard you thinking you outsmarting them and you know, passing rhetoric. But some of the shit you said make it look like you would, or it look crazy. Cause like, but you know, minus all that dumb shit, like I just really do want to give credit to him and Lucci for coming together. Yeah. You know, doing them records and trying to, you know, heal this city after, you know, it's been tore apart so bad. So I mean, we could definitely focus on the dumb shit, but really, to me, that's the biggest story that, you know, them two brothers came home from jail and realized like whatever they was fighting about, you know, this ain't gonna be worth it, and we might be better trying to be together. Yeah. So real. I'm really happy about that, you know what I mean? And that's what I hope Atlanta gets a chance to get back on pace. I hope, you know, we done seen the worst of what's been happening to the street urban culture down here, and now we in a position to, you know, rebuild it back up and keep getting all of the great art we was getting from this lifestyle down here.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Because when I look at that, and even when I, saw Jeezy and Gucci do the verses.
Tried
Right.
Gucci crazy, yeah.
Man, so crazy, bro. But them being able to just coexist in a building, about 10 feet away from each other and leave out of there with there not being any kind of issue, it just made me think and wish, like, man, what if Big and Pac could have done this? What if what if their situation could have been mediated and they could have done this?
I genuinely always think that was Pac's plan. Like I always said that, like Pac was marketing.
Yeah.
Pac saw what Puff did with him getting shot, putting out who shot you. Like as I studied that whole marketing stuff and asked questions to the people around at that time, and Puff saw an opportunity to put out who shot you at the perfect time. It's not even about Big, it's really Puff. And when Puff puts it out, it just seems connected. Yeah. And I think Pac is in jail, like, damn, like, you're gonna use this moment, you're gonna use this moment to kind of take advantage of my situation, you know what I mean? And he decided that he was going to do the same. Like, oh, okay, well, you won't act like, you're gonna put this record out and act like you had something to do with me getting shot. I'm gonna act like you had something to do with shooting me. And it's bigger. And, marketing could go wrong. And that was one of those cases because it wasn't really a real beef. It was just marketing going wrong.
Yeah, that's real.
I genuinely think, like when I would hear Pac talk in interviews, because I remember being in high school at the time, and he would make it pretty clear like Big had nothing to do with him getting shot or them. Like, you think I would be rapping? And they would talk about him coming together, and I always thought that was his plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know him, so I can't say, but listening to him talk and really listening, I think that was his plan after he got to where he was trying to get.
Right. You mentioned Puff, so I gotta ask you about this Diddy situation right now. What are your thoughts in terms of him being sentenced the way that he was sentenced? But then I just saw something where some guy just I think he only did like maybe 3 months and he had molested some kids or something like that.
Yeah. Puff, man, they fucked him up good, but could have been worse. They was trying to give him life.
Yeah.
So, to get off with,
Was it the Mann Act or whatever?
Yeah, that's hella racist.
Yeah.
There's so many issues in that case that I was mad about from the beginning. I kept telling people like, y'all, black people in America is kind of becoming like, sometimes they be feeling hypocritical. Because it's like we kind of try to position. I'm starting to watch so many black people try to position themselves like white people to me. And they're confusing accountability with oppression. Like, right? And accountability and justice is about harmony. So it's about things being balanced. So if this motherfucker could do something and get 5 years and 4 years in prison, 50 months, and this motherfucker could do a crime that's just as heinous, maybe more heinous and worse, right, and get 90 days, how is that balance? How is that harmony? So it ain't justice. Versus you looking at him fighting his old lady, right, and you like, whatever happened to him is cool. It's like, it can't just be that for us. Like, I get it. Yes, we are removed from slavery. Yes, we're not enslaved on plantations in that regard no more. But there is still a grace that needs to be given to black people in this country because things are out of balance still. When things are out of balance, things are gonna look funny.
Yeah.
So, I think by the middle of the case, we realized like, wait a minute. And I'm glad because we missed it with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Like, R. Kelly should have been in jail 15 years, max. They got R. Kelly 39 years.
Yeah.
Nobody really understands what his charges were. All they like, oh, this outrage, oh my God, he did this. And I'm like, that shit's fucked up, but the balance is justice. Like the same justice that you give everybody else. You can't just mistreat black people. That's out of balance. So, people with Puff, to me, with Diddy, they caught right in the middle of it. And they was like, wait a minute, this ain't no RICO case. And I'm screaming it at the beginning. I'm like, why the fuck is this a RICO case?
Right.
What, he the John Gotti of buying pussy? Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, and people was trying to convince me. I did a whole documentary for a company in England, and me and the lady that was doing the documentary got into it. Like, I'm like, lady, like, you think hip hop, she was trying to convince me that hip hop just got this bunch of sexual assaults and it's crazy. I'm like, you think I would be, like all these people I've been around in hip hop, I done been in a room with Dre, Dogg, with Snoop Dogg, with Birdman, Lil Wayne, y'all think motherfuckers is just taking pussy? What would I be doing?
Right.
So I don't know if maybe this Crip shit fooled them. I'm like, nigga, my energy is real.
Yeah.
If you think you're gonna sexually assault some woman in the room, I'm gonna beat you up right there. We're gonna fight. This a problem.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna let you hey. And I think now it's a question about hip hop. Is it men in it? Like we would just, like hip hop would just sit around and let some woman get sexually assaulted or let people get drugged. We don't think that shit cool. No. I mean, there is a eyeball, just like in any walk of life or any level of culture, but niggas ain't going for that. You think I'm gonna be in a room with some man and he just mistreating some woman? Like, I'm not that type of man. So I remember trying to convince her that, like, lady, you think I could be in a room with these people, like all these people, and that shit happening? In no world. Nah. We would be, somebody would be fucked over bad, and it ain't gonna be me.
Nah, it's terrible how people try to paint the picture of like how us as black folks move and things that we would let slide, that, like you saying, like there's no way in the world I would be in a room.
Somebody just sexually assaulted. Oh, he telling you, hey, Corey, I'm gonna just put this in her drink, this pill, and we gonna just have her way. That just seemed very weird. I don't think I ever had a friend that thought he could, if he was like that, he wouldn't trust me. Nah. So I can't imagine him trusting everybody to do that. So I think there's a thing where, just like in any other walk of society, there are these outliers who, they shit is off and they don't compute right and they just fucked up. Yeah. But that ain't the mass of this street urban cultural, thing we got called hip hop. You know what I mean? It's more to that. Yeah. It's like there is a accountability. There is a man standard. You know what I'm saying? So being a man means you not finna also sit by and watch some lady just get done wrong. So even in Diddy's situation where the shit with Cassie, like, I think people started to look at her like, wait a minute, because I'm sure people stood up for her before. Yeah. Diddy ain't never, trust me, he heard somebody tell him like, hey, what you got going on? And trust me, somebody talked to her and said, hey, this ain't cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then there's a thing like, oh, you might either, you don't know how to get away from it or you chasing something else in the situation. Yeah. And I think that's more than likely what happened. I can't imagine D and them just standing by like, oh, they not saying nothing. They know what's happening. Bullshit. No. Like, I ain't buying that. I just think people are a little bit more complex. You know what I mean? People's desire, what they'll go to get what they want, what they will cater to, what type of energy will you allow somebody to bring into you? And then it becomes so personal, you know what I mean, that you really almost be stuck not getting in the way, but that shit couldn't happen around me or no other man. Right. Like D, the dude used to be with Big, that's with Puff, that couldn't happen in front of him. That's gonna be a problem. I met the brother once, but I don't know him well enough, but I could tell he's a stand-up man to where it's like, if that was happening in front of him, it's a problem. Yeah. We finna have a problem. I don't even think Diddy would do it in front of him. No, that's like Stunner Man would have never, Mac 10, Stunner Man, Lil Wayne, you know what I mean, Game, no dude I ever been around in the business, Drake, Kendrick, nobody would do that around me. Hell, most people won't even do drugs around me because I'm sober. Huh. So let alone you gonna just, you gonna sexually assault a woman, you gonna beat her up, no world. And I think I would like to believe it's a lot more me than some dude just sitting by like, well, I'm gonna let her do whatever just because I'm trying to be around. Nah,
hell nah. I see it that same way. And I see, like, in the case of some of these women, they're agreeing to do some of these things because they want to live a certain lifestyle, or they feel like, okay, like I'm gonna be a star. This person, Diddy gonna, in Cassie's case, he gonna make me a star, so I'm gonna do this. Or, 50 Cent baby mama, like, she doing it so that she could be afforded this expensive ass apartment or condo that she was living in. So it's like, you wanna live a certain type of lifestyle, so you're gonna be down with whatever bullshit, this cat is bringing to you.
Might not be bullshit. It might be just what they into, you know what I mean? But
that's real.
Nevertheless, minus the sense of, I don't wanna make sure like it's about them avoiding accountability, or placing accountability on the victim or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I'm saying, like, I can't imagine us sitting by while this is happening. Not men. Yeah. Like, I'm sure there are some men, but I don't think the mass of us in street urban culture that came up how we came up is okay with that. Yeah. We not, like, I done stopped homies from doing all kind of shit, fighting with their old lady. They be fighting and I stop them, like, and the old lady could fight. Like, nah, not in front of me, let me leave.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Like,
for
don't do that in front of me.
Talk to me about your No Ceilings podcast.
So Charlamagne been pushing me into a podcast forever. He finally got me to do it. No Ceilings podcast. It's really dope. It's his company, Black Effect, a podcast, Dolly and Charlamagne. It's really starting to blossom. We got a stream that comes on YouTube where it's like an accompanying piece to where it's like whatever the podcast we talked about, like we might go into deeper conversations around the ideas 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But the No Ceilings podcast drops on Tuesday, every Tuesday. And it's really good, man. I'm getting more into it. Like I'm trying to find my own niche in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out what would make it special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do I want to talk about? But for right now, we really just exploring different ideas. And I'm able to expand and build on things that are on my mind that's happening today when it comes to street urban culture or the arts.
Yeah, and when I saw you doing it, I wasn't surprised at all because just, us knowing each other for so many years, we've had different, conversations. Sure. And I mean, just like how we talking now, just you've always had like good perspective, real perspective, sure. On certain topics and knowledgeable about, a lot of different things. So when I saw you doing it, I wasn't shocked at all. Like, okay, like Glasses.
I still don't know if I like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the one thing is like it's honest perspective. I was saying this the other day, marketing, like branding is so black and white. Like shout out to everybody doing well, but it's so black and white that it's so hard for me to make sense out of it. Like humanity is in a gray. It's a gray area. It's so complex. It's so in the middle. But to everybody doing really well in business, they try to live their life black and white. Like you got these conservative black folks where they just come across anti-black and they are blowing up, They are getting huge. And all they whole shit is built on talking shit about niggas. Like the whole thing is like niggas ain't shit. Every post, niggas ain't shit. Like they not looking in the camera like they not a nigga there. You know what I'm saying? So it's so black and white that you could see that they don't have any gray.
Yeah.
And it's a different type of mind that could commit to that type of fraudulent behavior. Either you built really fucked up to where you really think black and white, or you really committed to like seeing past the complexities of existing as a black man in America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or whatever the topic is, and I'm gonna stay all the way left. No, I don't like none of that. I'm conservative. I don't understand none of that's happening on the liberal side, or some liberal, like I don't understand how they think that. Like, it's so bullshit to me.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're not talking about the typical topics we see about should a man be paying 50-50 and all that type shit.
It's funny because it's so easy.
Yeah.
Like, right? That's right up my fucking alley to be on some bullshit and stay on that. But it's like, bro, I gotta look in the mirror every day. And I got a problem. Money just don't make me.
Yeah.
Money make a lot of people that I know. Mm-hmm. Money make them, they get, I know some dudes, I feel like they'll take some dick for some money. You know what I mean? As long as they got money and don't nobody know. But my problem is I just couldn't look in the mirror. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't look at myself if I start to sell myself out and kind of water myself down into a space that's digestible for a specific audience of people.
Yeah.
Like I have to kind of keep my humanity. I don't know why God is kind of, hammered it in to where it's stuck, and I can't get in front of this camera and lose it just to gain something that, just to gain some money.
Nah, that's real. Because, with Off the Porch, our whole vibe is that we're not looking to have rage bait, clickbait. We're not really having those types of discussions, or at least don't make those the center point of our discussions. And I've spoken to other people who run platforms, and they'll be like, man, why don't you get more into that? Yeah. And they'll even share with me like how much they making monthly off YouTube and all of that. And I'm just like, man, like I love being the person that I am, being able to move around and be cool with, and it's not even about trying to be friends with a bunch of people, but
You gotta look at yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
The mirror.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
So, you know, I do applaud all of those people that could sell that soul a little bit, that could sell themselves out enough to where they like, as long as I got some money. But I think that's also why these people be on drugs and be drunk and out their mind. They trying to escape their existence. So all that money you just spending to buy dope. You know what I mean? What good is a phantom if you're doing dope in it? I mean, you're not even taking in the full experience. You're not even looking at the gauges, the time, and nothing that make it special. You're not looking at the engine because you just high and drunk out your mind trying to make it to the next day. I was looking at a picture out there that you had where it was a young brother and he had a bunch of bras up here.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I was like, man, that is so brilliant. You know what I mean? That's like if I came and I got with some Crip homies and I'm like, man, y'all come to off the porch with me and I put like 100 Crips up here, niggas shooting dice, and it's like it'd be easy, but it's also like, you know, and you know, I don't know if the public is wrong. You know what I mean? It's a lot to digest somebody, you know, spilling out intellect or spilling out some level of depth. People trying to escape the shit all the time. They just left work. They don't want to be at work on this motherfucker too.
Right.
So you know, it might be 90, it's 100 ways to get it done. 96 of them involve selling your soul.
Yeah,
right. Your job is to find the 4 that don't, even though a lot of other people is taking those 96 ways.
Yeah,
So
I don't mind the slow route to getting to where I got to get to, and I'm so glad that myself and my business partner Hayes, who also interviews on here, we both on the same page and not looking. You know, we've never had a meeting where we like, hey man, let's start tapping into these certain topics and making sure we hitting these hot topics and all that. It's like, nah, let's have real conversations and really build with folks and build
People
it that
feel
way.
like that when I do certain songs like Tupac Must Die, and I'm like, that's not really what that is. Like in my mind, I'm not thinking it's gonna blow up and be the biggest thing. I thought because of the art was genuinely hip hop, right? It was this cultural experience. You could dive into Los Angeles street urban culture morality and see how we live. I never thought in a million years people would see that as something else outside of just brilliant art.
Right.
Like you can't just go make no song about Tupac and it's gonna blow up. You put Tupac name in a song, that ain't gonna work. You could do 1,000 things with Tupac name, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Like it has to be something more to it. And it's the same thing with like this Vlad song. It's like, it's not built on just some name. Like, you know what I mean? I get it even if names help people learn lessons. Like the Tupac Must Die was to anybody trying to be a part of this lifestyle. Here's a morality piece that you can learn from. Kanye should have never married that bitch. That's about turning hoes into housewife. That message has changed over the last, 30 years. Like I was blessed to have guys grow up and explain that to me. Why? New guys not telling you that. You watching them actively wife whores.
Yeah, I mean, we in trick culture nowadays.
So it's like, so I'm just using ideas that the average person can register to teach this message. Here's Tupac Must Die. If you jump on somebody in this lifestyle, they gonna come back busting. Make sure you do that right.
Yeah.
If you, hey, listen, I watched this woman drive this man crazy. You know what I mean? Like, be careful. You know what I mean? When you trying to mess with this woman because she's popular and you seen a tape of her, doing improper things and you think you want a piece of that. Or it's the same thing with Banned From VladTV. It's like, bro, like, remember you're coexisting with people that didn't grow up the way you grew up. Like everybody grows up, but in this hip hop thing, this street urban culture, personified through the arts or elements, like how we grow up and the way we're taught to behave, our morality piece, is not necessarily in conjunction with the people that's monetizing off of it, that's profiting off of it. They may see the world completely different, even the fans.
Yeah.
So it's to a point where, I got to do it the way I got to do it if I want people to get the message. You know what I mean? There's a real component of wisdom in it that I would love to share.
Right. Yeah, because with the Tupac Must Die, I mean, you gave probably the first time we heard a perspective from Orlando.
Sure.
Is it Orlando Brown?
Anderson. Orlando Brown's a little dude from Disney.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Orlando Anderson's point of view, though, which nobody honestly has never even thought of, you know.
And it's a ton of baby lanes. You know what I mean? It's a ton of them. It's a ton of dudes that's trying to become this man.
Yep.
And here is the burden of it all. Here's the burden of being into this life. Here is how we see things. It's not really even about him as much as it's about me. Like, this is how we live. And here is how we do things. You know, you sure you want to participate? You know what I mean? That's really the question. You sure you want to participate?
Right. Glasses, how did you feel when Kendrick shouted you out at the Grammys?
You know what's funny, man? I keep saying I didn't even hear him. Somebody told me he did, and I had to rewind it, but it really is a represent. I felt a sense of joy, right? But it had nothing to do with him. My man winning 5 Grammys for one song. That shit don't even happen. Rap songs don't really win, you know, best song or best record. Like, one is a writer's award, you know, and he's the only writer on there. You know, that's probably one of the few times that happened. You know, maybe Stevie Wonder or some shit like that. Or it's very rarely that a one writer is on that writer's award, which is, I think, is Song of the Year, which is about songwriting, and then Record of the Year. Like, that's the biggest award at the Grammys, and he won it, you know, for standing up for the culture. So there was this natural joy that my partner had got all of these Grammys for one song. Like, I felt it for Killer Mike, but Kendrick was, this is like, I watched this kid grow up into the business and do his thing. When he said my name, it was like, wow, that was dope. But to me, it makes me even respect him more, because who takes their biggest moment to date on television and donates it to somebody else? You know what I mean? To some dudes like, nah, you know what? Here's the 5th one, not the first one, where nobody's seen it, or the 2nd or 3rd one. Not the 4th one, where that was the shit too. But the biggest moment at the very end, it's like, you know what? Shout out to these niggas. Shout out to my nigga, feel me? Blah, blah, blah. Like, the help that inspired, blah, 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 whatever. That's the type of dude he is. You know, take your biggest moment and give it to somebody else. Yeah. So, to me, it just solidifies who he is as a person, and why I feel the way I feel about him as a person, and why fans should really love him as a person, because that's real. Yeah. That's who he is.
Nah, for sure. I mean, even on his GNX album, he did the same thing where he gave a lot of up-and-coming artists a platform on his project. He featured a lot of artists that people had never heard of, and gave him this platform just to show the type of person that he is.
He's a true student of this culture, man. He's a true student. Not only did he grow up in it, because I think it's a few guys to me that are true students of the record business, or even our department of the record business, hip hop department, but he's a true student of the culture. Like, he's not just a true student of, you know, the record business, you know what I mean, and learn how to make records to where he understands how to make records out of anything. He's a true student of how we live. And, you know, when he's focused and you know, life is not nipping at him, you know, you're going to get something really incredible. And I think we were blessed to see, you know, this last 18, 19 months, 20 months, it's been something to see.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And then he also recently had another W where, and I don't know if it's him having a W or if it's where, you know, that lawsuit that Drake had against UMG, like, it didn't go through, or
really, Universal didn't win, Kendrick didn't win. Really, hip hop won. Like, it's fucked up that the record companies have to defend hip hop. You know, it's another guy rapping, right? I've been saying for like 7 years that he's not hip hop, and I don't mean it in this negative way, because I think he's a fantastic rapper and a fantastic MC, but like, culturally, this goes back to the same thing like Banned From Vlad, where there's gonna be some fundamental differences, right, about how you see things, what's okay, what's acceptable behavior, right? And this person also should have experience before speaking on this thing. And I think with him, he doesn't have the experience to be speaking for it. Even our dumbasses in the culture, you know, we accept it because they lived through it. Yeah. Even if it's a jackass, it's like, okay, but you lived through it. We'll check you for sure. But when you got somebody, you know, rap music has always been reserved for people speaking for us. Whether they're crazy or not, they ours.
Yeah.
In that particular situation, you know, him, you know, trying to bring a lawsuit to a record label about the record they were promoting because he didn't like things that were being said about him in the middle of a conflict is disingenuous and it's just raggedy. It's just like the Clips record, it's culturally inappropriate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's trash. And, you know, UMG didn't win anything. UMG spent money for lawyers. UMG got dragged through court. Kendrick benefited because it just made his record get bigger and bigger. Drake pretty much committed cultural suicide in this regard because it's like you lacked accountability for competing. When you could have took accountability, you chose to compete. Sure, the first moment you could have said no and did something else, but when you choose to compete, we want you to own it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for the most part, he just, whatever little traction he gained culturally, he just lost it. You know what I'm saying? And he'll never get it back. And I think he knows it, and that's why he's proceeding the way he is. You know, that's why he's in England trying to convince us that, you know, people in England have the best writers in rap and hip hop. You know, trying to convince us of that. You know, and you putting out songs, or you doubling back and you're doing songs with Yeet, or, you know, you pretty much saying to us, you're on this platform with this young white woman laying in the bed talking to her about bullshit. You know what I mean? You're conceding, and it's because you never really, and like I never disrespected him. I thought he always had a pop approach. So Universal didn't win shit. They spent a bunch of money. They probably ruined the relationship with one of their biggest money makers, right? Kendrick benefited, Drake took a loss. Kendrick benefited again, so I guess this is a win for him.
Yeah.
Because again, his record overcharted, it probably streamed another 50, 60, 70, 100 million, you know what I'm saying? And standing up for the culture should come with them type of benefits.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
No, for sure. What's your perspective on record labels in today's climate versus back when you signed your first deal?
They trying to figure it out. They in trouble. They got to figure it out. You know what I mean? A lot of people closed down. You know, you saw people's commitment to hip hop. All these people went out of business and went somewhere else because the business was no longer easy. So, you know, the record companies are trying to figure it out. When I first came in the game, it was already a perfect, you know, assembly line. They knew just how to do it and what to do. But, you know, somebody pulled the carpet, you know, the rug from up under them. So they still making some money, but they do not have, you know, they got a lot to figure out moving forward if they're gonna stay in the business of releasing hip hop records.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, they doing all right with Taylor Swift. They figuring out shit with her, but
yeah, for sure.
with us, you know, with us, you know what I'm saying? We gotta, they gotta figure something out. You know, if
they
wanna
lost
stay
when
in
it
this
come to
business.
black music.
Yeah, they in trouble.
And you were signed to Cash Money early in your career.
Yeah.
With the Verzuz coming up, give me your unbiased
Cash Money.
opinion on who wins the Verzuz between No Limit and Cash Money.
Cash Money. I'm always gonna pick Stunner Man, dog. I'm always gonna pick Tune. I'm always gonna pick them. I don't even know if it's bias. And I'm not even talking about like, you know, 2010 forward. I'm just talking about the nostalgia of it. But you know what's funny? Like, I don't know if we really gonna get a battle in that regard. I think we really gonna get a really excellent moment to celebrate New Orleans hip hop.
For sure.
You know, I'm definitely interested to see how they match the records and play the records and trying to keep score. But I can't imagine I'm gonna be keeping score whether I drive down there and go or if I watch it on television.
Yeah.
Like, this is all the shit that, you know, shaped me coming into my adulthood.
For sure.
So I start playing that music, man. Fuck who winning.
Right.
You know, if you bounce back from, you know, wobble wobble to back that ass up, or like, come on, man, who the fuck, why am I writing some shit down on a piece of paper? Like, nigga, play the songs. I'm finna have a time, dog.
No, for sure. And to see Birdman and Master P on a stage together, like, I'm looking so forward to seeing those two men dap each other up, because that's something I've never seen
Here's
before.
something that's appropriate for this. When is this going out?
In the next few days.
Perfect.
I wanna drop
Okay,
it
so
before
we could definitely
before
get this out. I remember So shout out to Stunner, man. Stunner, man, know I love him, you know, with all my heart, and I'm grateful for every bit of opportunity he ever gave me. You know, he taught me the game. I don't even know sometimes who people be talking about because he's such an awesome dude to me. I remember asking him, and we sitting in the studio, and I'm like, hey man, what's y'all real beef with No Limit? He's like, Glasses, I don't got no beef with No Limit. This shit dumb. And we start going through the history of how he started. And he started telling me about all these acts, UNLV, different people, how he started on the independent, how he came across Wayne, Juvenile, BG, Turk, Manny Frey. He just started explaining to me how it happened. And he was just telling me what he saw in his future, like what he wanted to do. And he was like, man, really, G? I want to do it like how P did it. Like I want to take so much more music and push it independently. And to listen to him to say he wanted to do it like how P did it, I knew at that point, like whatever we thought it wasn't nowhere near to that, because that was a moment where it was just me and him. You know, I could have looked at him crazy, like P, you know what I mean? Nigga, you Stunner man, like nigga, you got the hottest shit in the world. And it's like, he gave him that to me personally. And I just was like, damn. So I think there's a different level of respect. I'm sure the competition drives everything, because that's what's driving all of the sense of feud. And I'm sure they got some shit that they crossed across in time, but man, I expect something really dope from New Orleans hip hop, man. And I hope the rest of the country, we could all come together. I hope the rest of the world, we can come together and really just give New Orleans their props. Like they carried hip hop at a really pivotal point when Biggie died, Tupac died, and we didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? Like Jay came into his own, but like we had lost some people, and so the West Coast and the East Coast looked very sketchy. And here is, you know, New Orleans hip hop, you know, to combine with Outkast and all the dope shit and So Def, but here comes this New Orleans hip hop to kind of give us this new level of street hip hop, and it's hella artistic, hella brilliant, you know what I mean, and very unique. Yeah. You know, two people from the same region, right? It's still they're both unique. Yeah.
Two totally different sounds.
I'm so, you know, I was trying to tell my boy that put on concerts at home, AD, he was the program director. I was like, yo, we need to do, I was telling him 17 years ago, 17 years ago, I was like, yo, we need to do a concert that's No Limit and Cash Money. He was like, man, I'm down, man, how we gonna do it? I'm like, we need to do it, you know, because he's doing these big concerts. But I always believed in putting those things together, because I know in Watts, that's gonna be like, what, like, I can't imagine what the rest of it, I mean, just where I'm from, you know what I mean? It's gonna be like the biggest thing. It's gonna be the greatest thing. We're gonna be so fired up. And I just can't wait to see Manny Fresh and KLC. Yes. Like, I cannot wait to see them playing music and, you know, knowing the history between them brothers. I'm just sad, like, Mystical is not there. Yeah. You know, I'm sad that Turk, you know, it looks like he's doing something else. Hopefully they figure that out so he could be there. See Murder. You know what I mean? Like, I just wish all of them brothers was there and we could just see them together. And, you know, knowing that that place carries such the history and fighting and shit that you heard about it, now it's like, here's this triumphant moment. So, and shout out to Swiss and Timberland, because this is dope. Yeah. And we got Jeezy and Gucci, but to get these two dudes and these two movements is special.
Yeah, nah, for sure, for sure. Glasses, what you working on and what you got coming up that you excited about?
More songs, man. Like I said, I'm just trying to get into my swing of things. So dropping records, man. Just these really creative records. Some just in the traditional sense of just jamming dope records, but really, man, pushing the boundaries of the medium today. You know what I mean? Trying to see how do we evolve the independent hip hop business, you know, to keep it going to where the next, you know, group of people want to invest in it. I mean, I'm really hell bent on that, and writing films and making films. And no ceilings, of course. No ceilings is, I get to kind of talk to people and, you know, really therapy and express to them my ideas and how I see things. Yeah. So it's really dope.
No, that's what's up, man. You got any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to the No Ceilings podcast. Every Tuesday, Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, you go listen to it. It ain't no video podcast, it's just audio. So anybody driving the truck that looks at Off the Porch, if you want to listen to something, head over to Apple Music or iHeart Music or Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. No Ceilings with Glasses Malone. And go check out Banned From VladTV on all streaming platforms.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Glasses Malone, appreciate you pulling back up on us, man. Jumping off the porch with us, bro.
That part, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cheating ass bitch, I'ma kill them motherfuckers. All I need is a piece of you and be so great.
Now this rule hella basic. Never long